Senator Williams.
Thank you, Mr President. My question is to the Assistant Minister for Social Services, Senator Fifield. Can the Minister update the Senate on any developments in the rollout schedule of the National Disability Insurance Scheme in New South Wales? I'm sure Senator O'Neill will be all ears.
The Assistant Minister for Social Services, Senator Fifield.
Thanks, Mr President, and I'm delighted to advise colleagues that the Abbott and Baird governments have agreed on a plan to roll out the NDIS to Western Sydney from the 1st of July this year, a full year ahead of schedule. Mr President, the rollout in the Penrith, Hawkesbury, Lithgow and Blue Mountains areas will, as I say, commence from the 1st of July. It'll cover metropolitan, urban and regional districts. Mr President, Senator Payne in particular knows that Western Sydney is an area of high need when it comes to early intervention services for children with disability. And this plan will bring the NDIS to 2,000 children and young people with disabilities aged 0 to 17 in these areas. And I hear Senator Conroy is delighted at that, Mr President. Initially, from the 1st of July, children with disability and their families will be able to access information linkages and capacity-building supports from the NDIS. And then from September, participants will be able to access funding for their individualised NDIS plans. And the Commonwealth and a returned Baird government will work with the NDIS agency to settle the finer details of the implementation, including establishing an NDIA office in the Penrith area, which I know Fiona Scott is very happy about, Mr President. And we will continue to work with the New South Wales government on a rollout schedule for the NDIS across the rest of the state from 2016. Mr President, both the Abbott and the Baird governments are very committed to a better deal for people with disability. We're committed to increasing choice and control, and this plan will see young people with disability in a high-needs area like Western Sydney get the vital support that they need sooner. And I should, in particular, Mr President, acknowledge the advocacy of Fiona Scott, Louise Marcus and Mr John Cobb.
Thank you, Minister. Senator Williams, a supplementary question.
Thank you, Mr President, and I thank the Minister. Can the Minister inform the Senate why children under the age of 18 have been selected to be prioritised under this plan?
Minister.
Thanks, Mr President. Early intervention services can have a huge impact on the lives of children with disability, not just in the present, but also in their lives in the future as well. And the services which will be in place can help kids with disability to improve their learning outcomes, for instance, and down the track can help improve their economic and social participation as an adult. And that's why, with New South Wales, we have prioritised children needing early intervention services as part of this rollout plan, because this is an opportunity to make a real difference, not just to the lives of the kids now, but also to make a difference to their future. And that is what the NDIS is all about, Mr President, is giving people with disability and their families choice and control, letting them choose the services that are right for them. And I should also, Mr President, acknowledge the advocacy of the New South Wales Minister for Western Sydney, Mr Stuart Ayres.
Thank you, Minister. Senator Williams, a final supplementary question.
Thank you, Mr President. Can the Minister provide the Senate with an update on the future rollout of the NDIS across the country?
Minister.
Thank you, Mr President. I can confirm to the Senate that there are further bilateral agreements which are still underway at the moment with each state and territory to determine how we will roll out the NDIS beyond the existing trial sites. We are committed, absolutely 100%, Mr President, to rolling out the NDIS in full. And I should make the point that I have made before, that one of the reasons why budget repair is so important, Mr President, is to make sure that we have the money to fully support those things that are the core business of government. Things like the NDIS, giving people who face extra challenges for reasons beyond their control the support that they need. Mr President, the NDIS is one of the most significant ventures that federal government has undertaken, and as I say, this really is the Abbott government getting down to what is the core business of a Commonwealth government.
Thank you, Minister.